got new exhaust for the WRX. I haven't personally been a massive fan of the single exit titanium one that we have on the WRX now. It sounds great. I just don't like the look of a single exit when the bumper's got two cutouts. It looks weird. Now, by no means is it a bad exhaust. I actually think it sounds pretty good. It's the JD Muscle Titanium Single Tip Exhaust, the same one that Import Image Racing has, JD Muscle, and Aeroflow Dynamics. They all come from the same warehouse in Taiwan, or they're all made in Taiwan. They're just different branding, stamping, and anodize on them. So you may see some that are like blue, gold, maybe some that are just burnt tips, things like that. It's not a bad exhaust, but we're swapping to something else. It doesn't look right. We need an exhaust on both sides of the WRX to make it look good. So that's where our friends at Rally Sport Direct come into play. They sent over a ETS Extreme exhaust off of their WRX. So this is the used exhaust that they had on their 2022 when they first got it. Now there's one thing that we're gonna be doing to this exhaust before we throw it on, and I just went through and did it. It's got the burnt tips, and personally I'm just not a huge fan of burnt tip exhausts. I really like the look of just like polished steel. I just think it looks a little bit classier in my opinion. Not to say that there's anything wrong with the other option. Different strokes for different folks. So someone asked me in the last RX-7 video that I shot if I could show the process of removing it. So I'm gonna show you how to remove the coating. I'm gonna give you a couple sound clips of this JD Muscle exhaust before we swap over to the ETS, and then we'll install the ETS. I'll give you some sound clips of it, because honestly I think the ETS Extreme is personally, I think it's the best catback out there for Subarus. It sounds minty. You can get them resonated, muffled, the whole kit and caboodle. Here's what we're looking at for the ETS. We've got the mid pipe, the wide pipe, and then the muffler deletes. Now, you guys can see we have that burnt tip coating on them. I already went through one of them just to kind of see what would work the best. So as you guys can see, this is what we're gonna be swapping them all over to from this. It does take probably about a half hour per tip to get them back to a polished look. But if you find one local and maybe you want it and it's a good deal, but it's got these tips, but you prefer these tips, let me show you how to do this real quick. Now there's a couple different things you're gonna be needing to be able to get this polished look back from this. This is just, it's either an anodized or it's just been heat treated. To remove that, you're gonna need some 400 grit sandpaper, some 800 grit scuff pads, some 2000 grit, which I believe it's one of these is 2000, some 2000 grit sandpaper, some metal polish, some brake clean. These, you don't need them, but they definitely make the job a lot easier. This is a Milwaukee die grinder with a little like rubber finger wheel that helps to remove all that stuff, and then a polishing pad to get rid of a lot of the crap on here. Step one, we're gonna use our little finger wheel to remove a lot of the coating to start with. If you don't have one of these, you're gonna start with the 400 grit sandpaper. This will just remove this coating a lot quicker. Go ahead and grab a sheet of 400. We're just gonna use the whole sheet and just kind of go around it. Scotch-Brite. 2000. Well, blam! I'm pretty happy with that. So just to give you guys a little bit of a comparison, you guys can see the polished versus the non-polished. That one's just like the burnt tip. I prefer that way more. It just looks, I don't know, man. There's something about it that just looks more classy. I'm about it. That came out really good. There's little micro scratches in it, and if I wanted to, I could keep polishing it and polishing it and get that mirror finish and get all those out. But to be honest, I just don't care to. I'm happy with that right there. That, like I said, that doesn't look bad. Some people like that. If you like that, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just we're doing that. My arms are tired, but we got back to a polished setup. I'm gonna repolish these again once they're on the car. This set is way more shiny than that set, but once it's on the car, it'll be like stationed, mounted up, and easy to polish at that point. So before we push the RX-7 out, we're gonna hop in the WRX, and I'm gonna give you guys a couple sound clips of this JD Muscle exhaust just so you guys can hear it one more time, and then we'll swap over to our ETS. coolers. Step one for us, I guess this is like step 2 or 3 now, is to go ahead and get the single exit titanium exhaust off of here. So this comes off in 3 pieces. We've got the main section there, this little squiggly do here, and then the muffler here. So to do it, it's gonna be a 12 and a 14 down there where it meets up to the stock down pipe. And then the rest of them are just all these little like slip joint clamps. So let's go ahead, pull off this JD Muscle exhaust and go ahead and get our new ETS one on here. Off. There it goes. Ah! Okay, looks wise, dude, it makes the rear end look so much better in my opinion, having 4 tips. Like I said, we are gonna repolish these real quick. I do, however, want to hear it. We no longer have a muffler, so I'm not expecting it to be crazy loud, but hey, you know what? We're gonna find out. It's gonna be louder or quieter?
I don't know, now I'm scared.
I like it a lot. I like it way better. Thank you, Rally Sport, for sending that over. You guys are the best. So WRX sounds way better with that ETS exhaust in my opinion, but I've been having, while we're here and while we're doing this stuff, I've got the WRX backed up on ramps right now. I need to fix the sway bar. When I tightened down the end links and the sway bar and everything, I did it with no load on the sway bar, and it's been making this god-awful clunking noise just bad whenever we go over a bump or anything like that. So I'm gonna fix that real quick. We'll take the WRX back out. I'll get you guys some like in-cabin audio and footage so that way you guys can hear it in the car, because honestly I think it's one of the better exhausts out there for these cars. It's not drony, it's not crazy loud, it sounds good, it's just the right amount of loud. So let me get this fixed and we'll take the WRX out. Where have we gone wrong? Oh my god, the end link is loose. Dude, both sides. Oh, that would be the problem. Now that we hopefully got the WRX fixed, let's take it out, get some driving clips so that way you guys can kind of hear the exhaust from inside the car, because honestly I think it just sounds minty. I would say 10 out of 10 on the ETS. It sounds good. It's not too loud, it's not drony, it's like the perfect pitch. Windows up or down. I obviously kept the windows up so that way you guys don't have to listen to the wind noise. But the thing to keep in mind is with these direct injection or these FA series engines is they don't really get like loud until you go to swap out the J pipe or the down pipe, call it whatever you want. They get loud once you swap out the J pipes. Once you get an aftermarket one, dude, it's entirely louder. So if you get the straight piped one like I have with no mufflers, no resonators, it might be a little bit too loud for you. Or if you live in a neighborhood with who hate obnoxious cars or things of that nature, probably wouldn't recommend this one. I'd probably get one with mufflers and a resonator, but dude, it's not bad. Also, tightening down there, retightening down the end links also fixed my clunking problem coming from the suspension in the rear, because that shit was, dude, it was every little bump, clunk, 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 clunk. It was awful. It's fixed now though. So there we go, we got a good exhaust back on the WRX again. Like I said, I had no problems with the other one. It sounded great. I just didn't want the single exit look. I way prefer the quad look. I just think it looks way better. Looks classier, fills out the negative areas of the rear bumper, and on this car, it definitely needs it for the rear end section of it. So that's all I got for you guys on this one. Tomorrow I'm gonna be working back on the RX-7 again. The Greddy V-mount shows up from Japan, so big pumped on that one. Big pumped on that one. And I'll link this exhaust down below for anyone else who is looking for potentially their 2022 or 2023. So with that, that is all I've got for you guys on this one. If you like the video, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button, turn it black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver, cyan, whatever color it turns for you. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you want to be able to put it in one of these corners, no idea which one quite yet. But with that, I'll catch you guys in the next one. So peace out, homies. Woo!